A very good afternoon to you tuned in to UBC TV. Welcome to our lunchtime news. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. The U.S. government will maintain a flat funding to the Republic of Uganda in the year 2019-2020. Presenting the report, the 2019 report, the U.S. Ambassador to Uganda, Deborah Malak, said the focus is on health, security, education, prosperity of the people of Uganda, as Ngabo Emon reports.
The U.S. government has pledged to maintain funding to the government of Uganda to boost the health, education and infrastructure development.
It's always in our system, the executive and the legislative branch have a certain dance that they do related to budget and assistance levels. So we are continuing until and if there is a reduction in the amount of funding that we receive. We are continuing with our programming and will continue to do so unless something changes.
Whereas many thought the U.S. would increase funding to Uganda, the U.S. Ambassador to Uganda, Deborah Malak, said it would remain the same. The American government provided $896 million to Uganda in 2018.
We want people to understand our work in Uganda and how it is making a positive difference in the lives of Ugandans. So transparency really is why we are here today.
Focus was on security, prosperity, democracy, health, and education.
So there's still a lot more work that needs to be done to empower the anti-corruption entities and agencies that exist, to give them the authority and the ability to actually go after people who are corrupt actors, including big fish, not just small fish. But that's a collective activity. It requires not just government action, but it also requires civic action. It requires the action and responsibility of individuals, because people who tolerate it at all levels, whether it's at the local level, whether it's in a school system, whether it's in private sector, you're all complicit. So, more activity, personal responsibility and collective action on a civic basis is also required, not just waiting for the government to do what it needs to do as well to ensure that it starts to root out corruption.
The 2018 report by the embassy indicate an increase in the fight against HIV and AIDS, support to empower the youth in job creation, agricultural advancement, private sector investment, among others. The U.S. government promised to continue monitoring the spread of Ebola, strengthen the economy, and create a tracking system with the National Drug Authority to boost equal distribution of drugs. Ngabo Amon, reporting for UBC TV.
Busoga Kingdom has received a financial push of 50 million shillings from Uganda Breweries Limited in the preparations towards the 5th coronation anniversary of the Kyabazinga Wilberforce Nadiope IV. This financial support was received by the Busoga Premier, Dr. Joseph Muvawala, who called upon the youth to support the development of the kingdom.
Speaking at the media while receiving 50 million check from Uganda Breweries Limited, the Busoga Premier Dr. Joseph Muvawala said the kingdom is surviving on the goodwill of the people.
The culture we're encouraging now is culture that is positive to the youth, that helps them become, that helps you to be disciplined. I don't think many of us will be here if in our youth we were not disciplined. Some of them are still.
Busoga Premier said more community-based activities are still going on to improve Busoga well-being.
And at the same time, we are launching a tree planting drive. If you notice, we have destroyed the environment ourselves. It's our responsibility to plant. And we are seeking to restore the environment, and we have declared that we must plant in the next 4 years 5 million trees.
While handing over the contribution, Juliana Kagwa, marketing manager Uganda Breweries Limited, said the support towards the kingdom has been purposed to be the center of celebrations of culture in Uganda.
The reason why we have lent ourselves to developing and working closely with kingdoms across Uganda. Today is about celebrating Busoga Kingdom in particular, and it's the reason why we've come here this morning.
The celebrations will be at Butagaya Sub-County Headquarters, Jinja District, in Butembe Chiefdom on 13th of this month, under the theme, Preparing a Youth-Based on Busoga cultural norms and virtues. Abdul Nasir Luwama for UBC News.
Members of Parliament on the Human Rights Committee were blocked from accessing illegal detention centers around Kampala. The members of the committee, led by the chairperson Jennifer Nantume Egonyu, were conducting a field visit following reports that Internal Security Organization is operating illegal detention houses.
The Parliamentary Committee on Human Rights has been investigating alleged detention centers across the country. The investigation on alleged detention centers follows a matter presented to Parliament by Kawempe North Member of Parliament Latif Sewagala, requesting Parliament to intervene. To establish the authenticity of the allegations, the committee visited Chengera, in a place said to be an illegal detention center. At Chengera, the committee found a tightly guarded, enclosed residential house where members of Parliament were turned away by one security personnel.
I meet the big man. One. Hello, whom are we talking to? Kalibala Vincent. What is your rank? In charge of what? These premises.
Order to go to Nakasero, that's all.
He told them to first seek permission from the director ISO, Colonel Kaka Bajenda.
The order is to go to Nakasero.
Afande, you're now speaking to the chairperson. Hello? Hello?
No additional statement.
We do oversight on spot visiting, and this is what we expected, that maybe they would allow us to enter here. So as a committee now, we can go back and decide on what to do next.
We know that you have summoned Director General ISO, Kaka Bajenda, and we know that he must attend tomorrow so that we can even add more questions as to why.
At Nalukolongo, just by the roadside, was another alleged detention house guarded by UPDF and LDU, where the MPs were again turned away. The same thing happened in Kabowa.
Again, we've been denied entrance by the people that are guarding the premises. They told us we must get clearance from the Minister of Security.
In Nakasero, however, an identified commander of the place requested to meet only the committee chairperson inside the premises.
Basically, he's calling us. He's calling me because he doesn't know why we come here.
If he allows that, you tell him your request. If he allows others to come in, then they will come.
Members of Parliament, and that's what we're saying.
You already told me that before. I know, and I've already told you.
But again, you're also operating under the law, so we expect you to be transparent and tell us
Until we are transparent. If one person can't go, then
this one is just giving those words to say.
Okay.
The committee chairperson, in fear, however, declined to meet the commander.
That we either go as a committee
or we don't go.
Or we don't go.
One of the two, but you can't go alone.
It is for your own good also.
It is for
I understand.
Yeah.
To sit as a committee and decide. That is not a one person's decision. We are going to sit as members and decide on what to do next.
We will continue to investigate and will continue ensuring the human rights of Ugandans are protected.
The committee, however, resolved to summon the director ISO Kaka Bajenda to give an explanation. Susan Naonga and Gloria Guitabinji reporting for UBC News.
Thank you so much, Susan and Gloria. Welcome back from the sites. We'll take a very short break. On return, we'll have more. Please keep glued on UBC TV.
Three. What's up with number 3? It's 3 at Airtel and not 4 anymore. It's 3 shillings per second across all networks in Uganda.
Make calls from Airtel to all networks at 3 shillings per second. Get to talk to anyone on any network anytime at 3 shillings per second.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Airtel is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission. Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998 with a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda. We created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
Thank you so much for watching, and welcome back from the short break. Political parties under the IPOD coalition are rejuvenating the push for turning Uganda into representative democracy, with members of parliament voted by their political parties to parliamentary positions, as the parties are voted by the general population during general elections. Former presidential candidate and Democratic Party strongman Paul Kawanga Simogerere started the talks about collective representation in parliament in the late 80s, and during the IPOD summit, political parties under IPOD backed the idea, among other electoral reforms.
First of all, you know what happens. It will be a great achievement for this country and for even Africa and for many other countries if we can agree on what is principally clearly necessary for this country to rise from the ashes.
Now, in business, Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development Matia Kasaija unveiled the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. As Wadulo McArnold reports, the fund is an assurance that customers of commercial banks and other deposit-taking institutions are compensated a maximum of 10 million shillings if it closed business.
Government has decided to increase the deposit insurance paid by deposit-taking institutions like banks from 3 million shillings to 10 million shillings.
It is to help create confidence in your financial system. Otherwise, people will be running out from keeping money in the banks. And you know that is not good running. It's not, we don't do that in an economy that is being run in a modern way. People must put money not under the mattresses, not under in the pots. Money should be kept in banks.
The Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda is a legal entity created by the government of Uganda under the Financial Institution Act of 2004, whose mandate is to act as a deposit insurance scheme for customers.
It is a commitment by government that should a bank in the financial system fail, there is a fallback position. They are guaranteed to reimburse or to pay the depositors a minimum amount of 10 million per account.
According to the central bank, starting July 2019, there are 12 million active bank accounts registered under various commercial banks in Uganda. And the Deposit Protection Fund is covering 11.2 million so far.
The fund currently is approximately 650 billion shillings in terms of absolute figures. And this is an increase from 480 billion in 2017 when we took charge of the fund as a separate legal entity.
In order to ensure safety and liquidity, the collected premiums are invested in Government of Uganda's treasury instruments. Reporting for UBC, Wadulo McArnold.
The Ugandan National Roads Authority, that is UNRA, has set the 24th of December this year to open the Northern Bypass flyovers for public use. The head of Public and Corporate Affairs, Mark Sally, says that the purpose is to ease traffic and common on such days.
Kampala city motorists will start using flyovers, which will save the time wasted in city traffic jams.
Our target is that by the end of the year, we will have opened up Sentema and that Hoima or Nansana interchange, if you want, all the way up to Bwaise, which is already double-end. So you will be able to come from the Kampala Entebbe Expressway and pour onto the northern bypass from Busega up to Bwaise uninterrupted, with 2 lanes on either side, complete with guardrails and the middle, and also lighting everywhere. So that's what we are doing, and the contractor is moving fast now. So there's a lot of progress there.
The flyovers replaces the traditional roundabout technology, giving Kampala city a new look. Sally further says replacing roundabouts with flyovers and the construction of other mega flyovers to numerous express highways will now ensure improved connectivity.
Well, ideally, we're going to be reducing congestion in Kampala and ensuring that people save on travel time as well as travel cost, because we are talking about a very great important route. I talked about us coming from the airport, but also coming off the border in the east and coming from Mombasa. We have a lot of trade traffic that goes through our place and into DR Congo and Southern Sudan.
When all this work is completed, the new Kampala will not only be a flexible city, but a place of wonder, attracting both foreign and domestic tourists.
Now, Kampala Flyover project is in 2 phases. The second phase will be at Kitgum House, taking in a bit of Electoral Commission and a bit of the Centenary Park, that area. So that will be the second phase of the flyover, Kampala Flyover, which we'll be constructing. And again, it involves also widening of roads, a bit of widening of roads and creating flyovers and tunnels. That's why it's important for Mukwano Road to be widened, because the first phase of the flyover and the second one will then be pouring into each other and then pouring out the traffic out of Kampala.
Pathias Karikona compiled this report for UBC News.
On the international scene, the body of Robert Mugabe has left Singapore on a private flight destined for his home country, Zimbabwe. The former president had been receiving hospital treatment in the city-state before he died last week at the age of 95. Mugabe was Zimbabwe's first leader after independence in 1980. He held on to power for almost 4 decades before being ousted in a coup in 2017. He will be buried on Sunday after a state funeral on Saturday. A hearse carrying Mugabe's body left a Singapore funeral parlor accompanied by police motorbikes bound for the airport on Wednesday morning. The specially chartered flight carrying Mugabe's body is expected to land in his home country today at 3 p.m. according to family members. Mugabe is then expected to lie in state at Rufaro Stadium in Harare, then a state funeral at the 60,000-seat stadium. Mugabe's final resting place remains unclear amid reports of disagreements between his family and President Emerson Mnangagwa's government. Arab nations have condemned the plan by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to annex part of the occupied West Bank if he is returned to office following a general election next week. The Arab League said that Netanyahu's plan would violate international law and torpedo the foundations of peace. A Palestinian official, Hanan Hashrawi, says that Netanyahu was not only destroying the two-state solution, but also all chances of peace. Jordan's Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi called the plan a serious escalation and warned it could push the whole region towards violence. Turkey's Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu described the action as racist and criticized Netanyahu for giving all kind of illegal, unlawful and aggressive messages before the election, and Saudi Arabia also condemned the announcement on state media as a very dangerous escalation. Israel occupied the West Bank along with East Jerusalem, Gaza, and the Syrian Golan Heights in the 1967 Middle East War. And now in the world of sport, after a long wait, Federation of Uganda Basketball Association has confirmed playoff dates for the 2019 season. That session of the league will start on September 20th with the quarter-final matchups that will be played on a best-of-3 basis. In the men's category, Uganda Christian University Cannons will play Kampala Capital City Authority, reigning champions City Oilers, Det Ndeje University, and JKL faces Power, while Warriors entertain Kampala International University Titans. Among the ladies, it's reigning champions JKL against Uganda Matters University Ravens, KCCA Leopards negotiate Angels Basketball Club, UCU Lady Cannons, Tasso A1 Challenge with the University Derby between KIU and Kumba completing the fixture list. That is all we had for you this afternoon. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Jordan Lukoma, wishing you the best of the day. Bye-bye.